Alright guys, I'm so sorry I didn't do any song requests who is definitely the real singer, because I've been doing a lot of research and I've been studying for my exams. So eventually guys, this video won't be premiering until presumably next week. So today I'll be discussing about the song, the Pinball Wizard song by the rock giant band The Who. So, I've been getting a lot of questions, not so many questions about who is definitely the original artist who definitely sang Pinball Wizard. Well, eventually the song Pinball Wizard was sung by Peter Townsend or Pete Townsend. It was performed by the English rock giants The Who. So eventually, it was in 1969 when the rock opera album Tommy was the original recording and was released in the single in 1969. It was released in the number 4 charts in the UK, and then number 19 on the US Billboard on Hot 100. So despite of this, the side of the Pinball Wizard song is an instrumental credit to Keith Moon, titled Dogs Part 2, which is despite of the title, which has no musical connection to The Who's 1968 UK single Dogs. So eventually that song was apparently released on March 7, 1969, but it was recorded 1 month before the song release. So what is the story behind the Pinball Wizard song? The Pinball Wizard song is apparently a champion who is good at playing pinball. In the Tommy Lee book, it was surrounded by the skills of the main character, Tommy Walker. So Tommy Walker is actually a blind deaf kid. So it was actually the 4th studio rock opera by the band, The Who. So eventually that recording was apparently released on May 23rd, 1969. So it was recorded on September of 1968, and then it stopped recording on March 7, 1969. But that was the release of this one, The Who Pinball Wizard. So apparently it was the teachings of Meher Baba. It's the title character of the deaf dumb blind boy who was particularly good at a certain game. So eventually the single version was speed up to 2 minutes and 57 seconds, while the album was actually split up to 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So eventually there was the live performance, and eventually it was in the Rainbow Theatre in London in 1981, where 5 years ago Keith Moon, the drummer for The Who, actually died of a drug overdose. And fortunately, I'm just gonna say this, on the Super Bowl halftime show, which was apparently in America, The Who actually flew there ever since 8 years ago, the death of John Entwistle, who died of a cocaine drug influence of smoking in 2002, and Keith Moon, who died at just the young age of 32, died in 1978 of a hemivarian influence drug overdose. So ever since then, the duo Peter Townsend and Roger Daltrey flew to America to perform the song Pinball Wizard. So eventually, it was rare. It was very popular at the time. So apparently, who were the personals for the lead vocals? So eventually, Roger Daltrey was the lead vocalist. As I mentioned in my video, if you guys haven't watched Who Are the Who band, I suggest you do so you can know them better. Peter Townsend, who was actually the breaking vocals, he was the co-lead vocals, the associate guitar, and he also played the electric guitar. John Entwistle, who was the quiet one, played the bass guitar, and Moon the Loon, or should I say Keith Moon, who was an octopus, according to Alice Cooper, apparently played the drums. So what I would just suggest is in the 1970 concert, you could apparently see Keith Moon smiling. But once he just like this leans over, he's definitely high on drugs in my opinion. Definitely due to a bad reputation of drugs. And for years to come, Moon has been trying to control what has become a very dangerous habit. And before a gig or before a concert, like saying for example the Pinball Wizard concert, I would apparently say that Keith, I'm not too sure if he definitely took drugs during that time, but I would just presume to say that Keith definitely took drugs before a Pinball Wizard show, in my opinion. I'm not too sure if that is true or that is false because I definitely know the Who band since 2015, but it's currently unknown who are the members. So, unfortunately, there was another version. Elton John sang this song in the Ken Russell's 1975 film adaptation of Tommy, which was also true because it reached number 7 in the UK and it was reached number 9 in the US radio voice charts. But it was supposed to be listed on the Hot 100 charts when the Who apparently did release their song Pinball Wizard. So in 2019, Taggart Egerton portrayed Elton John in the film Rocketman 2019. I'm really gonna tell you about that movie, but I never watched that movie because that movie was rated 18 and I don't recommend anyone under the age of 18 to watch that movie. If you want to watch that movie, it's fine, but please get accompanied by an adult if you want to watch Rocketman, because Rocketman is a rated R movie, just like Bohemian Rhapsody, where it tells the story of Freddie Mercury, the late singer of the rock band Queen. So eventually, this is only a cover to reach the top 10. So eventually, there were other cover versions such as Barry Williams, McFly, and Tedious D. So eventually, it was based on the Who, Tommy Pinball Wizard. So unfortunately, I can't play you that song because it will be copyrighted. So I want to keep the way as it is. So eventually, for the answer right here, the answer was the Who originally recorded this song. Due to that, they just wanted to name this boy Tommy because Tommy is a blind deaf kid. So eventually, it's true because Tommy was the one that definitely sang the song, the Pinball Wizard song. So I was correct after all. So the answer was the Who. So the Who eventually sang that song. And I'm gonna tell you this part in my opinion. Well, the song was eventually nice. I just heard that they sang so much of songs, except for the fact when Keith Moon definitely goes crazy or John Entwistle smokes, because he definitely does have high blood pressure when he smokes. So eventually that song is nice in my opinion. And I'll just rate the song as a 9.5 out of 10 because this song is from the 60s. What I would recommend is go try listening to the song The Pinball Wizard. I've been listening to that song before. And for one of the videos that this random guy apparently showed, it was a picture of Keith Moon in his drum kit. That the song was definitely playing the Pinball Wizard song before moving on to one of the guitarists, Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols. So apparently that's some kind of true why many people would include singers. But if you want to watch this kind of videos, I suggest you do, because this is apparently a music video to know the difference between the recorded artist and the recording not so recording artist. So guys, that's all for now. I really have to say, and this is me, Wheeling the Tomboy Gamer, signing.